It's Adam here from Shervey Power Products. I'm joined with Matt. He's our National Wholesale Manager.
G'day guys.
We're just going to run through the complete 5040 bundle, what's included, what's not, the instruction manual. We'll go from there.
All right, Adam, so we've got a 5040 pump here. Before we get into what's in the box, can you tell us a little bit about the pump and what applications we might use it for?
Yeah, so the 5040 itself is a 450 watt motor. We run 640 watts of solar through it. Can do heads up to around that 60 metres. And that's around 265 gallons an hour. They're at about 10 metres, you're at about 400. So we mainly recommend them to use as like a transfer pump, so into your trough, your tanks.
All right, Adam, let's see what's in the box then.
No worries, we'll go through it.
Obviously, before we get started, we've got a full instruction manual and troubleshooting guide. We recommend you give that a good read through before you get started. What do we got here? What size panels?
So they're the two 320 watt solar panels. They will be wired in a series configuration to get your 80 volts that's required to run the solar pump. So
now the panels are off. What else have we got in the box here, Adam?
All right, so we've got our uprights. So 50 by 50 gal steel. They get concreted in the ground, approximately 1500 apart for this one. Your rails will span across, so your 2.1 metre rails will span across on the L feet. There is an instructional video on our website also that shows you how to do that. All right, so we've also got the 40 metre safety rope. On the end of that safety rope there, we have a splice join with two stainless steel clips. They go each side of the top of the pump and just keeps the pump nice and level in the hole. And then if your poly pipe ever lets go, that safety rope's got it. So you just tie that back to one of the posts that you concrete in the ground, and it's obviously safe and secure. Under that there, we've got our Shervey bore cap. That comes there with an 1.5 inch poly fitting. Unscrew that, screw that back through the hole, and then you attach your poly fittings on there. So we don't supply any poly fittings other than the 1.5 inch outlet that goes through the bore cap, due to obviously customers' requirements. So every borehole situation is generally different, so we try and keep it as standard as possible and let the customer make their own decision on what poly fittings they need. So in the next bag here, we've got our pressure switch. In the pressure switch kit, we've got a 3 metre cable, 2-core cable that runs up into the TC and TH terminals on the controller. It does come with one poly fitting, obviously, to bush it up into the T piece that's required to obviously install and make the pressure switch good. If you are running a pressure switch, we do recommend a Apex double acting float valve in the tank, and then obviously a non-return valve on the pump side of the pressure switch. The next thing in the kit is our rail fittings. That includes 4 L feet, 4 end clamps, 2 mid clamps, and obviously your screws to screw it down into the rail. So definitely need that when you're installing the solar panels. All right, so also we include the spare rotor and stator in each pump kit. Spare rotor and stator is if you've just got a new bore done and there's a bit of sediment still left in the hole, it can wear that out. So if you've got, like I said, sediment, you know, a bit of shale rock or something like that, it can run through this. And it does damage that rotor and stator. There is a spare one. Next in the kit, we've got our 40 metre low well sensor. This one here gets installed about 1 metre above your solar pump. So when you've got the pump in the ground, you tape that sensor there about 1 metre above the pump. Straight like that, cable facing upwards, and then tape this and your safety rope about every metre on your poly pipe. So very handy thing if you have a low performing bore. So next in the kit here, we'll run through the actual pump itself, and it's 40 metres of cable. So we offer the 40 metres of cable as a standard. We can go 50 all the way up to about 80 metres of cable with this pump. So obviously an additional cost, but if you do require it, then we can offer it. So with our solar pump, your eyelets go here for your safety rope. So that's why there's 2. Obviously it keeps it nice and upright in the bore. You got your inlet here. So this here is the part that you want to try and keep open. If you do know you've got a bit of sediment or something build up in your bore, you can actually put a stocking over this one that filters it a bit more. So on this one here also, you do have your serial number. So serial number is very handy when we're trying to track your pump. So, but that's the pump there and 40 metres of cable. On the 40 metres of cable, you've got U, V and W. So the U, V, W terminals go up into the controller. Can't really get that wrong. If you do get it wrong, it can potentially spin the rotor and stator off. So this part here will run back the front and it'll spin off and then sit there. So that means you will not get any water. You'll hear gurgling, but no water. So very handy to get this one right as well. All right, so here we have our MC4 1.5 metre fly lead. How you wire this one up is on your instruction manual, you've got your 2 solar panels, obviously for your 50, 40, 48 volt. So here, as we can see by there, you've got 2 MC4 plugs plus 2 forks on the end. So these 2 forks on the end here go up into your controller, P plus, P minus. Then obviously you wire your panels in series as per that, so you link your panels, positive and negative, then you run about 80 volts down through that plug. So that plugs into there, and then you get your power into your controller, ready to pump. Now we'll unbox the controller, so you will require a Phillips head drill bit and a drill, or even a screwdriver, doesn't really matter. We'll take the 4 screws out that's in here. So we do just screw it down, obviously just for transportation. So, all right, so we'll pull this one out of the box now, and we'll run through the components. So we have our system light. So the system light obviously just shows that the pump has power. The pump light means that obviously under here you flick your pump on, your light will come on, and then your pump will start pumping. If your MPPT light stays solid, it just purely means there's not enough sun that the controller has to regulate the solar. If you've got more than enough sun, you've got a good sunny day, you see your MPPT light flashing, it's not an error. So the MPPT light, if it's flashing, it means that it's doing its job. So error light means an error. Low PV means that you've obviously probably haven't quite got enough sun. If it does come up on the odd occasion after your pump's been sitting or you've had it turned off for a while, there is a potential that the rotor and stator is stuck. So just keep that in mind, and we do offer tech support on that as well. So tank full light means it's been activated by obviously your pressure switch, or obviously just your off and on button under there. So low well sensor. If your pump does run out of water, that will trigger, and it's got a half an hour timer on it. So once obviously it tries to recuperate after about half an hour, the low well sensor light will go away and the pump will try again. If the bore still doesn't have enough water in it, it will not kick in. Under here you've got your cable glands. So these 2 cable glands here are for your positive and negative, obviously, of your solar input. UVW cable from your pump goes into this one. We've got our low well sensor, goes into there. So then you flick your lid on the side here, you open your box up. Depending on your model of pump, depends on obviously in front of the controller. This is the new current controller we're running for ease of access, obviously, for our customers. So in here, down along the bottom, everything's marked quite clearly. So P plus, P minus, they're your solar cables. Your UVW, they're your 3 cables that run down into your pump motor. Your TCTH, they're your pressure switch cables. And then obviously your WC and WH, that's your well low sensor cables. When you're installing it, you pull your loop cable out. If you leave that loop cable in there, it just means that you've got no protection if your bore was to go low. So, and then also here you've got a speed dial. So the speed dial is more like a voltage dial. So you lower that down, obviously, if you want less flow. So if you go down too far and it is winter, there is a potential that the pump won't start up because you've lowered the voltage too low. So yeah, but no, definitely nice and easy. Obviously, to fold it back up, you put that there. If you want to put a padlock on it to keep people out, you can as well. So happy days.
All right, thanks very much for giving us a full rundown on the 5040 pump. If you guys want to know more and have a look at our full range of pumps, please visit SherveyPowerProducts.com.